I'm standing in one of the most pathogenic mushrooms in the forest. This is called the honey mushroom. It's got a veil, and if you look at this stump here, it is covering this stump. And what happens is these mushrooms attack living trees first, and then after they kill the tree, the fungus starts spreading into the root system. So there is literally hundreds and hundreds of mushrooms all around me on the forest floor, and it's feeding on the roots, the dead roots of this tree. So this is an extremely invasive mushroom. It's got a little white gill like this, but this is called the honey mushroom. This is Armillaria malea.
In the absence of light and hope, with the absence of will to breathe, feel the pain that lives inside your heart, let it glow and serve to the disease.
Hi, this is Shelley Sparks. Look at these mushrooms. Don't they look good? No, not really. These are the mushrooms from actually from a disease. It's called oak root, commonly known as oak root fungus, and it is a soil-borne disease, and this puppy will kill all kinds of different plants. Many plants are susceptible to this, and I happen to have it in my soil in my front yard. The oak root fungus does move through soil, so you can see I've got evidence of it over here, and hiding over here. This actually started in my front yard, where a tree had to be, a magnolia tree had to be taken down because it was a danger to the subject to falling over, and yet my succulents over here are doing quite well, even though this disease is in the soil.
Hello, this is Mufasa talking from my cell phone. Here is an example of Armillaria malea colonizing a nectarine tree. The fungus colonizes a root by secreting enzymes that dissolve root bark. The fungus attacks and kills a small section of the cambial tissue before forming a mycelial fan. Once established, the mycelial fan continues to grow under the root bark, usually in the direction of the root collar. Since it grows slowly, it may take up to a year for the fungus to completely kill the root. Once the fungus spreads from the end of the root up to the root collar, it girdles the base of the trunk. So much vascular tissue is destroyed that water and mineral nutrients cannot move past the root collar and the vine dies. I mean tree, ha ha ha.
In order to determine if such an infection has begun, one needs to examine the base of the plant for visible evidence. In this case, we are looking at a hedge of Portuguese laurel.
Here you can see there is a gap. The plants to either side are in decline. In the gap is the stump of one plant that has died. Let's take a look at one of the declining plants. The root systems surely are intertwined. Let's move closer to the live plant. Dig down until you find a root that is finger-sized or larger. Here we've found a root, but we need to uncover it. We need to move the soil away, enough soil away that we can get a tool in it there if necessary to help us remove the bark of the root. What we need to see is underneath the bark. We're lucky in this case. The root has decayed enough that the bark comes off easily, and so we're able to just peel the bark off with our fingers. What we need to see is under the bark. And you can see fairly clearly here white filaments of a fungus on the inside layer of that bark, right there. That white may be a little more solid, it may be a little bit more filamentous, but it's clearly white, and if you smell it, it will smell mushroomy. You may wish to remove a segment of the root so that you can get a better look at it in the sunlight. Here you see we have a root segment that is finger-sized about in diameter. In order to see how far the fungus has colonized in this shrub, we're going to pop our knife underneath the bark at the base of one of the trunks. And there it is. You can see the white layer of fungus underneath the bark. This is a sign of oak root fungus, Armillaria mellia. In December in Santa Clara County, oak root fungus may produce mushrooms directly from the diseased wood. To recap, this video has demonstrated how to look for root disease that has progressed into the trunk of a woody plant causing serious decline. To learn more about what to do once the diagnosis has been made, you can visit the University of California Integrated Pest Management website.
This program on Armillaria root disease is one of a series prepared by the Protection Branch to help forest workers detect and identify tree diseases in British Columbia. On some interior sites where all tree species, including even those more resistant, such as western red cedar, are attacked by armillaria, mechanical removal of infected stumps from the good quality sites is one treatment option. Roots 3 centimeters diameter and larger must be removed from the soil. Smaller roots should decay before roots of young seedlings contact them. Although infected stumps and roots do not have to be burned to kill the fungus, burning might be desirable to prepare the site for planting. Recent results from 12 to 15-year-old de-stumping trials have indicated less than 1% tree kill by disease in treated areas, as compared to 5% or more trees killed in similar non-treated areas. With further research and development, improved stump extraction or chemical fumigation may become feasible for forestry operations.
Root rot disease is a major cause of premature peach tree decline in South Carolina. It kills thousands of peach trees every year, and basically all growers have this problem. The fungus does not like to grow above the soil line. So if we plant peach trees on a berm and then excavate the first few inches of the primary roots, the fungus will not be able to get into the primary roots and will not be able to girdle the tree and kill the tree.
We're having an oak root rot problem with one tree dying and with the roots intertwining with the next tree, and the disease was spreading. Eventually you would lose 3 or 4 trees right around that one tree. We were losing up to 40 and 50% of the trees over the life of the orchard. By doing this, we've actually cut the loss down to almost probably 10% of the tree dying.
I'm Master Hughes, your tree doctor and tree expert, and today we're talking about oak tree funguses. And most people don't understand there are a lot of different types of funguses that attack oak trees. You have topical funguses, you have systemic funguses, you have shelves, all sorts of funguses can attack an oak tree. But the most important thing, with proper diagnosis, you can treat them quite often effectively if we get to them in time. The point is, don't wait until your tree looks really, really bad to call me. Call me as soon as you can when you know there's a problem so that we can check the tree out and make sure it is a fungus that is attacking the tree or whether it's something else. Your average arborist can't do this. It takes some specialty chemicals and equipment and things that they don't have. Well, I'm Master Hughes. Check out my site, treedoctorhouston.com, our big site, treecare-woodlands.com. Send me an email or give me a call. I'll be glad to help you.